Alright, hi, hello, we're gonna be doing more Reddit stories today. I don't know how long this is gonna be, and this may be combined with another Reddit video, because I've been trying to make the videos longer, but I get tired out after like 20 minutes of speaking so much. So, I've started to read the first comment before I read the story, because I end up seeing a lot of like trolling stories, and I just take them for real stories, unless you know, once you get halfway through it, you kind of can tell it's a troll. But I don't want to waste time and like half read a story because it's a troll post. Anyways, the first comment says that this person edited this post. I don't have the original, but am I overreacting? Is my boyfriend gay, or am I crazy? Okay, so here's a little bit of backstory. I, 24 female, have been dating my 30 male boyfriend for about a year and a half. And I say dating very lightly right now in light of everything I've just found out. The entirety of our relationship, my boyfriend has always had a ton of gay friends, which at first I saw as more of a green flag, but now I think it's more red. The last few months, him and I have been having a lot of problems, always fighting, and at one point he moved out of our apartment for a bit and went to live with one of his transgender friends. I wonder if we're going to find out why transgender was mentioned. Like, is it relevant to the story? Anyways, well, shortly after coming back to my house, he started showing signs of some infection in the back of his throat. The infection covered his tonsils. I thought it looked like an STD, but he swore he was never with anyone else. I forced him to... Sorry. That's disgusting. I forced him to urgent care. They tested him for everything, and lo and behold, he had chlamydia in the back of his throat. He had recently gotten tested a few days before through a urine sample and tested negative, but then when they swabbed his throat, it came back positive for chlamydia. He claimed that he got head from a girl and kissed her after, but if that's the case, then he should have it on his junk too. I don't understand how one can get an STD in the back of their throat. I feel like that's obvious, but okay. Things have been going on to make me think he has an attraction to men, but this was the cherry on top. The reason he moved out for a bit was because I caught him texting one of my gay friends, and he told him that we had broken up and was sending kind of scandalous messages and pictures. When I confronted him about it, he got super defensive and started using slurs and ultimately left. It's the way he gets so defensive every time I ask him if he's attracted to men, and his number one excuse is always, it's against my religion. Anyways, I can't help but think he got an STD from giving head to another man. What do you guys think? I have no issue at all he is attracted to men. I'd give him the time and space to explore that while I go live my life, but I can't do that if he's not being true to himself. What should I do? The first comment says, he cheated on you and you're so intently focused on the trans friend or his gay friends for some reason. Just leave. He may be gay, maybe not, but I think your emphasis on his friend choice is an interesting one. You put an exclamation point to emphasize his transgender friend. Who cares? Just leave. That's what I was thinking. Because, like, I find it interesting, and someone said this on Smosh Reddit stories, and I've thought of it ever since. But, like, sometimes people add adjectives that are unnecessary to the story overall. There's one story that was in Smosh's Reddit story videos. It's one of the queer ones. No, it was the one with Ian and Anthony, the second one. And basically, this girl does like a song for her gay friend's wedding, but she specifies that it's the gay friend's wedding, and you don't find out till later she specified that because she sang the song Good Lookin' by Dixon Dallas. So, like, but in the original post, she never, the reason why she explained that it was a gay wedding was never there. That, like, why say gay wedding if it's not relevant to the story? Anyways, am I overreacting, or rather is my girlfriend overreacting, getting worried I'm gay because I talked to my buddy on the phone while taking a dump? GF got weird tonight, freaking out after I told her I was talking to my buddy while pooping. She wouldn't accept my answers that I don't think anything of it, and have done this with bros for years and nobody gave a fuck. Am I the only straight dude who talks with bros while shitting? No, this girlfriend is definitely overreacting with that. Like, I will admit personally, I'm not going to talk to anyone while I'm using the bathroom in any way, shape, or form. Maybe if I'm, like, stuck on the toilet, I'll use the phone to talk to someone for a minute, but I would prefer not to. I prefer being in my own, like, area while I'm using the bathroom and not having to deal with any other people. I don't see there being an issue with talking on the phone while taking a dump and stuff like this. It's not serious. And what you do while taking a dump doesn't define your sexual orientation in any way. I don't understand it. But am I overreacting for now? I think it's for not allowing my gay son to have his boyfriend sleep over. Title should be not now. I, 34 female, recently found out that my son, 12 male, has been secretly dating his best friend, also 12 male, since year 5, 9 to 10 years old. My son, Harley, just finished his first year of high school last Wednesday and came out to me and his dad last Friday. Now, I'm supportive of Harley being whoever he thinks he might be. I realize this is an age of experimentation and doesn't automatically mean he is gay. He may just be trying out this identity. Pause. I don't like the phrasing of, we're supportive of Harley being whoever he thinks he might be. I just don't like that phrasing. I mean, it's nice that they're accepting, but I don't like this. I don't like the way they're going about it a little bit. But moving on. Harley has been best friends with his boyfriend since he was in year 1, 5 to 6 year old. And here's where my issue is. If I were to treat this as a real relationship, I would say no to Harley sharing a room with a girl. But since Harley and Luke have been friends for so long, they've had plenty of sleepovers where they sleep in the same bed in the same room. Something that, of course, I never had issue with before because I didn't know my son was experimenting with his identity. However, now that I know this, I have become very uncomfortable with Luke staying overnight, and so I have banned Luke from staying overnight. Harley was obviously incredibly upset with this, but sometimes I feel as a parent you have to make decisions that put you as the bad guy in your children's eyes to keep them safe. And frankly, I'm uncomfortable with my son having sex at this young age. I'm not, the story isn't done. Maybe I should finish reading before I comment. Now, this is where the big problem comes in. Harley's dad, George, says I'm being way overdramatic when I mention my concerns about sex. He said if they wanted to have sex, banning them from sharing a room isn't going to stop it. But from my perspective, no, it may not eliminate it, but it does help prevent it. He said it wouldn't matter anyway because if they had wanted to experiment sexually, they probably would have already done it, considering they had sleepovers almost every weekend. Which I think is a weird thing to say because they're only 12. What? Oh, pause again. So she's saying it's weird to say that they may have already done it, but she's inferring that if they continue having sleepovers, they will do it. So they're both talking. No. He said it wouldn't matter anyway. He said it wouldn't matter anyway because if they had wanted to have experiments, if they wanted to have experimental sex, they probably would have already done it, considering they have had sleepovers almost every weekend, which I think is a weird thing to say because they're only 12. He also asks if it ever stopped us when we were teens, which I don't get because it's a completely different world now, and just because we did something irresponsible doesn't mean I want to roll over and make it easy for my children to make the same mistake. Though I have to put my foot down to both of them, told George to stop trying to enforce rules in my home, and that Luke will never sleep over, and anytime he is over, the door must remain open. George claims that he wasn't trying to pressure me. George says that he will not have those rules at his home. Legally, we have split custody of Harley, though I only have weekends of George weekdays. Informally, though, we haven't stuck to that agreement in years and just do 1 week splits. Harley stays with me for a week and then George for a week. I think it's irresponsible for George not to back me on this issue as it causes a non-united front. I believe he should adopt my rules, but of course Harley is claiming I've ruined his summer holiday since I won't allow Luke over and they had already planned all these gaming nights. Harley is now saying he will stay at his dad's for the entire summer if I don't change my mind, and George has told me he won't force Harley to come and stay with me anymore than the legal minimum in our agreement unless Harley wants to do so. Am I being unreasonable here? I honestly don't see how I could be in the wrong. This is the same as I would do with Harley. This is the same as I would do if Harley had a real relationship. Okay. So I feel like George is unfairly pushing this on me. It really bothers me that it says, quote unquote, this is the same as I would do if Harley had a real relationship, as inferring that his current relationship is not real. And the comments agree with me. Yeah, the first comment says, if quote unquote, if Harley had a real relationship, look, I get you're accepting of your son coming out, but being male and having boyfriends is a real relationship. Not that asshole, however, I think you could work on some compromises in this case. Given they have been having sleepovers for years, maybe they can't share the bed. Luke could go sleep on the couch, or if you have a guest room, but not with Harley. You should also have the sex talk about safe sex. George is likely still looking at it as two besties being together and not as two kids in a relationship. Ask him if Harley wasn't gay, if he would allow this. Would he allow it if Harley was a girl? Remind him that gender orientation doesn't change, that Harley is 12 and parents shouldn't be promoting sex to 12-year-olds. But they should be making sure their child is informed and safe. And I can tell you that kids today have just as much ability to get in situations that kids did when you were their age, just as kids did when I was that young. I'm a decade older. Planning a way for sleepovers where they aren't in the same bed, it would be a good compromise. Look, it's hard for me to agree with this OP because of how she's talking about her son's relationship and how she's talking about her son's identity, invalidating it, and being like, I'm okay with it. If that's, I would be okay. Like, the son is coming out and said that he had a boyfriend. So he is gay or bi or queer of some type. Or pan or you know what I mean. But he is saying that he is queer. And the mom is going, if he is, if this is experimentation, maybe, maybe not. Like, it's hard for me to agree with her. I 100% agree with that first comment saying, like, have them be able to stay over but sleep in separate areas. And, like, if she's already gonna say leave the door open, you should just let them sleep over but have one in the bed, one on the floor or something like that. Because she's already saying the door is going to be open the full time that they are there. So, like, would they really try something with the fucking door open? Like, second comment, a 12-year-old in high school, 12-year-old is 6th to 7th grade, maybe it's different for you. I don't love the gay and boyfriend, in quotes, it reads as invalidation. I'm torn on this when they've been friends and have already been having sleepovers for years. What if they still had sleepovers, but you just left the bedroom door cracked open and told them no sex during said sleepovers? And have a calm conversation with them about why. Give them a chance to do the right thing. As parents, we can do our best to guide our children, but they're going to live and learn on their own too, just like we all did. I'd rather my son feel like I'm a safe space for him and feel accepted at home, to be honest. Someone replies, yeah, the way the OP is talking about the situation rubs me the wrong way, and you don't want to make it seem like he's being punished for coming out to you. You can provide them a safe space without making dramatic changes. You can still be there, have them leave the door cracked, etc., without completely changing the way things have been for the last few years. He trusted you enough to put himself in a vulnerable position and tell you the truth. Cut him some slack. Yeah, and the thing is, I already said this, I really don't like how she's talking about it. Like, this son came out, so he is queer, and this mother is like, it's experimentational, if he, real relationship, blah, 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 like, okay. I think, as I said, I agree with the first comment where, like, just have them sleep in separate areas of the house, leave the door fully open at night. I think, actually, as a kid, I had to leave my door fully open always because I would stay up on my phone or something, and my family didn't want me staying up all night on my phone. They wanted me to, like, sleep at night. Yeah, I'd stay up on my phone or my computer or something like that, so they had me leave the door open so that they could see if I was, they could presumably see that I was on an electronic device, but I normally could just have the device and just put it down like this underneath a pillow and no one could tell. But they would leave the door fully open. When they are going to bed, leave the door fully open. Okay, Emery reacting. I, 25 female, think my 33 male boyfriend is lying to me and is gay with his best friend. We are set to get married soon. We have been together for 3 years. We have great sex. He tells me he loves me. He wants kids, and he tells me it's just a joke, and they do this because it's funny. His best friend will call him Tyler for the sake of this post, and him talk sexual to each other all the time. I've seen over his shoulder text saying things like, "I'm gonna pound your ass so hard it's about to hurt to walk." I'm gonna pound your ass so hard it's gonna hurt to walk days later. And I have seen photos of both of them sending pictures of their dick. I was snooping last night. I know I shouldn't do that, but Tyler sent my fiance a photo of his boner, and a couple days ago my fiance said, "Nice dick, bro." And things like, "Too bad I'm not gay or I'd suck that hog." Like, it almost seems like they're joking but sending actual pictures of their dicks, like multiple times, and both of them hard, talking like this pretty regularly. Am I overreacting? Please help. We are set to get married soon, and I'm worried he is cheating on me with Tyler. Edit, I don't have a problem with him being gay. I have a problem with him cheating on me. Update, I'm gonna play it cool for a couple days and just keep an eye out on their behavior. Tyler is coming over to hang out this coming Tuesday afternoon. I might say something to gauge their reactions. Not sure what yet, but something to see if they look at each other weird or something. IDK. I'll update later when I know my plan. I hope this turns out all to be just some big joke between them. The first comment says, joking is different, but sending pictures is way too out of line for straight people. OP says, that was my thought. Right away, I just took it as guys being guys. I hear them talk like this all the time, but full-on deep pics, I'm okay. Now this is crossing a line, and I'm wondering if the talk is more than jokes. Guys don't send each other dick pics for fun. Doesn't happen. And I would stand my ground hard on that, and I would let him know that in no way will you ever support cheating of any kind with guys or girls. So if he has feelings, either gay or bi, he better speak now, because if you find proof, it won't go well. I would also ask for a prenup with a cheating clause that covers messages, pics, emotional and physical cheating, with huge penalties if it happens. The pics with his buddy and the gay talk would stop, or the wedding wouldn't happen. I haven't read the update. I'm ready with my update hat. I haven't read the update yet, but look, I'm gay, so I'm not like the best to talk to about straight things. I can totally see guys just being guys and sending stupid dick pics like that and saying shit like that. Like, I can see it as platonic, but stupid. Shoe up, shoe up, shoe up. Update, am I overreacting? I, 25 female, think my 33 male boyfriend is lying to me and is gay with his best friend. We are set to get married soon. Wow, I'll start with that. I didn't say anything when they were together. I was full of anxiety and all in my head and just couldn't do it. I brought it up this morning before he left for work. I said something to the nature of, I looked at your phone and I would love to know why you two are sexting each other. I'm not comfortable with it and we need to talk about this. Are you gay? Or he literally burst out laughing as I'm tearing up asking this. He says it's all a big joke. He said that this whole thing started because they were making fun of homophobes and people who were insecure with their sexuality, and it went from jokes to full-on dick pics. He said that they talk about how it's so funny that seeing a dick makes you gay, or people find it gross, when in fact it's no different than getting a picture of an ear or a hand. It's a big inside joke because straight men are not supposed to act like this, and people who think that makes you gay or weird are just insecure and childish. He says that it started with just sending pictures of dicks from the internet and eventually led to them sending their own because of the shock value. I literally do not know what to think about this. I told him to stop it now, and he said he would respect that and not do it anymore, but he also said I need to chill and doesn't like that I looked through his phone. Ugh. I did see him start talking on the phone as he was leaving the driveway, probably bitching about me. And then below that update, I brought up that I posted on a social, didn't say, he doesn't have any of them, and he said he wants to see the post. Should I let him? I told him maybe when he is home from work, or I could send screenshots of some things. I'm so over this whole thing, like why, but at the same time I could see what he thinks. And then the next update, I'm just gonna go straight to the next update. Update from my fiance. Am I overreacting? Hi, 25. You know what I was gonna say. So the post is from the fiance's point of view. I sent this to my soon-to-be wife to post for me. We had a heartfelt and serious discussion about what she's been thinking, and then she told me about her Reddit posts. I will be honest, I have shared these with Tyler, and we find this all super hilarious, as well as my fiance now that she understands. All three of us hung out a few days ago and talked about it, and we shared a good laugh. Conclusion, our sense of humors are much more developed than your average Redditor. A lot of people say gay humor between straight men is normal, but Snapchatting a picture of your hard cock when you're not expecting it is too far and not funny. Get the fuck off. People on these posts are the ones making it sexual, not us. We just find it hilarious because it's unexpected and shocking, and people's reactions when we tell them we do this, like all of yours, is funny as fuck to us. This is not a secret among a group of guy friends, and a handful of other dudes have seen our dicks besides just us two. After my conversation with my fiance and Tyler, we agreed that we wouldn't behave like this anymore, and because it made her uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong with being gay, and if either of us was gay, we wouldn't have a problem with it or keep it a secret. It's not our fault that we've unlocked peak humor and y'all are projecting your perception of sexuality insecurities onto the situation. We live in a pretty homophobic world, and I'm sure a lot of the men in these threads get bullied and called gay when they were in school growing up. Your fear of people thinking you're gay is not my problem or has anything to do with my life. It is, oh my god, this is so long. It's perfectly okay if you wouldn't send a photo of your cock to one of your friends, but if my bud Tyler wants to hit one of our bros with a dick pic randomly every 6 months when you're least expecting it and everyone involved just finds it funny, then who gives a fuck? It's not his fault. You have a weak sense of humor. If you see a penis and think of it as inherently sexual, that says more about you than it does us, buddy. To answer a lot of people's questions, no, I would not care if my fiance sent a picture of her vagina to one of her girlfriends as a joke. Literally wouldn't bother me in the slightest. If it bothers you, that's you. I also saw a woman in one of the threads who said she divorced her husband because he wanted to get pegged because that's gay, lol. So obviously the understanding of sexuality in this community is limited. A man and a woman engaging in a sex act is not gay in any capacity. Homosexuality is when two men engage in sexual or romantic behavior. That's it. Do people send dick pics in a sexual capacity? Obviously. Sometimes it's just funny. Get over it. Sorry you're insecure about people seeing your dick. It's just a penis. It's not gonna hurt you. This is very weird, backwards, Puritan society we live in. After speaking out about it with my fiance and Tyler together, she understands that it's just a big joke to us, even though it's not her particular sense of humor. She said she doesn't know if she's okay with it, but we agreed we won't act like that anymore. Boom, problem solved. She's my soulmate and I love her very much. Everyone telling her to run away or break up with me is a fucking idiot, projecting their own shitty relationship experiences onto us. Maybe learn to give advice objectively instead of projecting next time. You don't know us. You don't know the dynamics of my relationship or of my friendships. I appreciate everyone who has actually tried to offer her thoughtful, compassionate advice that led us to communicating about this so we could move past it. For the men messaging her on here flirting, I would like to say that you took advantage of her during an emotional time, and she told me about how she played into this and will not do it again. I don't have a Reddit, but my wife will show me this post later tonight, and then we are moving on from all this bullshit. Goodbye. And this lady has one more post. This was 325 days ago, so there's not going to be another post after this. I, 25 female, accused my fiance, 33 male, of something recently being gay with his best friend. It's a long story, but I'm not getting into it. And I agree with him. I was totally overreacting, and the last few days now have been so amazing. The sex, the princess treatment, the constant attention. I hope things stay like this, and I'll be such a happy girl. Am I childish to think it's going to stay like this forever now? He is like 10 times more into me right now than he seemed to be. Okay, yeah, no, that doesn't sound good. I would give them before where he is sending dick pics. Okay, like, maybe that's normal. But him going from... No, the reason why he is being so nice and perfect and whatever is because he is manipulating you. It just proves that his excuse was not real. When his excuse is that dick pics are funny and it's so stupid to be insecure about being gay, and then his essay of a post trying to convince people he is not gay, it doesn't line up. OP says, hey everybody, thanks for all the support and messages, comments. The love bombing, or whatever you all think it is, has stopped now. Things are back to normal like before. Nothing really new or crazy, I guess. Like IDK, I wish I had a better update. But he is just here now. I keep thinking I should just end it, but I still love him so much. IDK yet. We have been through all this wedding planning and all, so I don't want to throw it away just yet. Our wedding has been delayed again because he keeps changing things, but it's looking like maybe May or June. Alright, and then some... the autistic guy says 4 things. 1, yes, it's likely love bombing, and it's probably because he's trying to cover up something he doesn't want to admit. If he was telling the truth, he would have no reason to love bomb you except for the day you confronted him. An extended period of love bombing means something else entirely. Don't fall into the trap of the sunken cost fallacy. It'll cost you a lot more money to divorce than it is to cancel your wedding. If he keeps changing the date, it's probably because he's not ready to commit to you yet. He might be having an affair. 4, I've never heard of a guy who openly shows pictures of his dick unless he wants to use it with the person he's showing it to. I'm 99.9% certain he's lying to you. If it happened just once, say he wants to compare, maybe I could believe him, but repeatedly, not so much. When the race marshal is waving the red flag, you shouldn't be continuing to race and crashing into a disaster. You should be pulling off the track and calling it a day. Don't let your feelings about him lead you into a huge mistake. You're still very young, you have time. Someone says, pretty interesting that this update gets posted minutes after a video by a well-established Reddit YouTuber where... pretty interesting that this update gets posted minutes after a video by a well-established Reddit YouTuber, including the story. No, not suspicious at all. The overly childish mannerisms of the supposedly 25-year-old OP is downright pathetic. The overly childish mannerisms of this supposedly 25-year-old OP and downright pathetic mannerisms of her oh-so-perfect and loyal fiancé aside. And then OP says, yeah, I get it. People started commenting again because of that, and so I figured I would update because I've been avoiding it for like 2 months or something. There's only one more post I'm going to be reading because this person who just said that sent a fucking novel. Okay, so this person goes, look, if this is real, then I'm sorry for coming across so rude, but I won't necessarily apologize for my energy. People have tried telling you how horrible your significant other is through soft words, and it obviously didn't work. He's a liar, a cheater, and an abuser. But he doesn't hit me. Physical violence isn't the only form of abuse. Gaslighting, manipulation, by the by, unit, not knowing what love bombing is doesn't mean it doesn't exist. They're all forms of abuse, maybe not as severe as being punched or kicked, but abuse nonetheless. He doesn't love you, he doesn't respect you. He has delayed our wedding once again. Shocker. He is an amazing man. Is the amazing man in the room with us right now? Dude's more childish than your average Redditor, which is funny for someone who claims to be superior. That's ignoring how you were supposedly 22 when you started dating a 30-year-old man. I'd underline his predatory nature based on the childless nature of your commentary, but now knowing how old you roughly were when you started dating, yikes. As a 21-year-old, I can safely say that any person who pursues someone who just became legal will always be a red flag. Not that I think my comments would get through to you based on your Cody Co post. Oh? Now I gotta check on that. Being of legal age doesn't mean jack shit. The differences between the two of you from your maturity to your experience should have been major at these ages. Should, because he sounds like a major child. There's nothing fine about anyone that age dating someone who shook hands with Jesus. Grooming is something that everyone, regardless of age, can fall to. People who have barely started their own lives and just stopped being classified as teens just so happen to be more susceptible to it. If you actually cared about the advice you reviewed on here, you'd engage more than you're doing. You try to reach out to people offering help and maybe do your own research regarding the terms that people throw at you. Love bombing, gaslighting, grooming, predatory behavior, etc. That's, again, assuming this is real. I don't care if it's not, because there's definitely someone here who needs to hear this, even if it's not you. Because you either don't care or you aren't real. I can't be nice or bothered to give a cap, because public posts like this do make the rounds and do influence people, whether you care for it or not. It has the power to normalize these relationships and even normalize inappropriate age gap relationships. That is a no-no in my book. If you're fake, I hope your 5 minutes of fame were worth it. If this is true, do yourself a favor and grow his spine. He doesn't love you, not in the way you hope he does. He's not good for you and your post or anything, if your post or anything to go by. Jesus. So the person commented on our Cody Co. This whole, Cody needs to come back. This whole thing needs to just blow over. Cody will come out someday soon and make an apology, or at least I hope he does. His videos brought so much joy and love to the world that we need him back. I'm a woman, so I have more of a say in this than most of you on here, in my opinion. Just saying. If you don't know what happened with Cody Co, when he was younger, but still of age, he had relations with a minor, and he did not apologize for this. He kind of just went off the grid, and I don't know if he came back or not. Also, it's funny to me how she says, I'm a woman, so I have more of a say in this than most of you on here, in my opinion. Just saying. Like, no, it's not up to you as a woman, it's not up to you, even if you are a woman, to accept Cody Co's non-apology, or accept his actions. It's up to his, I don't want to say victim, because I don't know if she wants to be called a victim, but It's up to the person who actually went through stuff with Cody. It's not up to some random fan of Cody Ko. Okay, am I overreacting? He played a cruel April Fool's joke about being gay in the middle of an emotional conversation. I'm still spinning. I'm 38 female, and I've been in a complicated on and off again relationship with a man, let's call him Adam, 42 male, for about 2 years. Lately, things have been strained. We were in the middle of taking space from each other. We were texting back and forth about where things were emotionally, and I was trying to be honest and vulnerable. Then he hit me with this. I see your point about visits. When I call you, don't answer, so it feels like there's no use because you're so busy. Any more feelings to share? I'm at work, but will do my best. Then this. Well, I guess I should tell you now what I should have told you months ago, maybe even years ago. I'm gay. Anyway, so maybe it wouldn't have worked out so good between us anyways. Oh well, better luck next time. I was stunned. My heart dropped. For a few moments, I thought my whole world had shifted. I tried to respond gently, but then he followed up with, haha, you fell for that, April Fools. Later, he said, and by the way, remember when you used to prank me and I said I would get you back one day when you least expected? It wasn't planned, but while at work, I thought it was so funny to send you a message and say I'm gay for April Fools. To clarify, I'm happy. Old definition of gay, LOL. I'm not done with the post, but I don't like this guy. From what she's said, I don't like this guy. But here's the thing, when I used to prank him, it was during playful, happy moments in our relationship, when we were actually committed and emotionally safe together. My pranks were things like TikTok eyebrow filters, or jumping out to scare him in a silly way. He never fell for them, and we always laughed. They were harmless, dumb, and based in affection. What he did was different. It was targeted, timed when we were already vulnerable and not okay, and cut into real emotional fears and trauma. I honestly thought he was coming out to me and leaving me for good, and I believed him. Then he made fun of me for falling for it. We were already in a weird place. He broke up with me after lying in September, and then I kept acting like we were still together. I asked for therapy. He agreed, but never followed through. I've been in my last semester of school, about to graduate, and don't have much time or energy. Instead of supporting that, he's been hanging out with random girls I've never met after 2 years of knowing him. Then to top it off, he sent me a disrespectful song, DSL. After the prank, I turned it off after 5 seconds. It felt gross, especially after what he just pulled. Is DSL like dick sucking lips or something? I'm hurt, angry, sad, and also trying to step back and look clearly. I just need to share this because I'm still trying to make sense of how someone could think this was okay. Now I feel like I shouldn't have even picked up the phone. I didn't need clarity. I was fine. And instead, I'm spinning out all over again. I feel emotionally triggered, and I've been spinning out ever since. Now that joke really hit me in a dark place too. A few years ago, I lost a boyfriend to suicide. His brother texted me that he was gone, and just like that, my whole world shifted. So when Adam sent that text pretending to come out and drop a major truth bomb in the middle of an emotional conversation, I believed him, because I know how life can hit you with real, raw pain out of nowhere. I've lived that. So yeah, it really hurt. Thanks for listening. If you've made it this far, I guess I just needed to get it out, and I feel like I'm not crazy for being hurt by something that was absolutely not okay. TLDR, I, 38 female, was in a messy, emotionally complicated relationship with Adam, 42 male. While we were taking space, he sent me a fake "I'm gay" text as an April Fool's joke during an emotional conversation. I believed it and was deeply hurt, especially because I've experienced real trauma, including the loss of a boyfriend to suicide via a text from his brother. Adam later said it was just a joke and compared it to harmless pranks I used to do when we were happy. After a phone call yesterday where he doubled down, instead of apologizing, I'm angry, hurt, and emotionally spun out. I wish I just hadn't answered. Just needed to get this out. The first comment is exactly what I'm thinking. Good pranks leave everyone laughing. If the target of the prank is hurt, it's just cruelty. Yeah, no, I think, personally, pranks are about making the person you are pranking laugh. I feel like if that person is not laughing, you have not successfully pulled a prank. Pranks nowadays have gotten so crazy because of like the internet and people wanting to do like shock value and stuff like that. I mean, look at fucking Sam Pepper from years ago, and it's just gotten crazier since then. And at this point, most pranks you see online are faked because they're so insane that you're not gonna actually do that to a person.